The Men and Women's Dialogue Organization in the Northwest feels that the boy child is often left out of developmental programs which could contribute to the rising cases of gender-based violence and gender inequality. The organization says girls should not be the only beneficiaries of programs. Our reporter Refiloe Seboko is joining us now from the Northwest. Refiloe, very good afternoon to you. What's come out of these discussions there, especially looking at the unequal discussions and grooming around the boy and the girl child?
Good afternoon, Mpho. Even those discussions are ongoing right here at Ratsidi Hall in Mahikeng. The discussions are revolving around challenges that are being faced by especially a boy child. One of the person that was as one of the speakers is Mr. Mokaila from the Men's for Real advocacy group, who was touching, amongst other things, how even when people or a girl child gets to grieve, it's different from how a boy child grieves, and how when a boy child falls, they are being quickly said, stand up and just, pick up yourself and move on. But it's different from how you treat a girl child. This is why they saw that it's important to have a men and women's discussions that focuses mainly on a boy child, on how they can be able to maneuver around challenges that they are faced with, be it being bullied at school or around being abused in relationships for the young men, being unemployed, or just being able to just cry when you are hurting or maybe have lost one of your loved ones. Allow me, Mpho, to welcome Motheo Phalatse. He's going to tell us about how it is like to live as a young man in your early 20s in 2022 and some of the challenges that they are faced with. Thank you so much, Motheo, and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. We were talking earlier about some of the challenges that, the young men in their early 20s are faced with. You touched on issues of peer pressure. You touched on issues of being humiliated by even gents when you're chilling, and you want to talk about your challenges.
Okay, number one, to start with, being a boy child, it's very easy and not easy at the same time. I would say that's where it started back then. We as men, we need to start showing our expressions, our emotions, and start having open conversations with our loved ones. I'm one of the people who keep quiet when I'm going through a lot of things. We don't open up as men. We don't cry. We don't show our expressions. Whereas male and female, we both have that. But men, what we do, we keep quiet. That's why there's so many male people who are committing suicide than basadi.
And you also talked about your attempts for suicide and the challenges that you've went through. Maybe just in short, to give us, you said on five attempts of trying to commit suicide. Take us through that shortly to say what was happening and how did you get to where we are now having a conversation about it now, and that those attempts not even have succeeded.
Back in primary, I struggled from reading. I couldn't really read by the, let's say, age of 9 years, 8 years. That's when I think my depression started. I was not aware. Started growing up. That's when my first attempt happened, when my peers, my age group, left primary. I was still in primary, 2 years behind. I went to high school. I stayed another 2 years behind. I couldn't finish my matric record time. I wrote my half subject in a year and took another year to write the 3 subjects. That's how I started, now starting with my attempts. The last attempt was when I lost part of myself, which is my late dad. And I have a book that I'm studying now. I wrote it I wrote it Losing a Father, Gaining an Angel. I lost a part of myself and I'll never get it back.
And how are you getting help in being able to heal as a man, somebody who has lost a part of himself? And do you think there are enough programs that helps you as a young man to deal with your emotions, to cry and speak out, have a safe space to find help?
First thing first, social media is very exposed. The reason why I'm here is because of social media. for me to come to be at this event is because of social media. It's good and bad. It's up to you on what you follow and what you decide to listen to. Secondly, talk to your loved ones. Just open up to anyone. Thirdly, just this easy thing of going to the doctor. We think going to the doctor is about getting medication or what. We take it very lightly. Depression is very, very, very real, and it's killing us. I'm suffering from anxiety, PTSD, depression, and a lot of things which I can't disclose at the moment because, yes.
And do you think a program like this, initiatives like this, that which you guys want as young people to address those challenges, peer pressure, easily being hooked in substance abuse, alcohol and the likes, easily being bullied and also not having a sense of belonging or feeling left out, rejected by society?
Honestly speaking, from my side, such events won't get to us. It's not all of us, my peers, who are here. I'm here because of what I'm going through. There's my friends that I know which are going through the very same thing, even more. Maybe I don't know. But we are not exposed to this because our parents are not being open to us about such things. First thing first, they are discouraging. They are discussing marriage. They are discussing family. My dad said to me, but are a family, it's father, mother, I love you. That was it. Love your mother, love your father, and let's live on.
And what are you taking, maybe just for the short sessions that you'll be able to listen, especially in terms of the presentation that was done by Men for Real, that was focusing on the boy child. What did you take from that?
I took the which I have already. Let's cry. Crying, it's part of healing. The first step, wherever you are, whatever that you're going through, if you cry, that's the first step of you accepting the pain that you're going through. That when my dad passed, I started crying. I haven't accepted, and I'll never heal from my dad's passing, but I started crying, and I still cry today. I still cry every day of my life. But crying, it's part of living, like taking out what's in you and through tears.
And was it easy for you to cry or even open up to your peers, or it was not such a difficult, or rather an easy thing for you to do? Because one would say, man, like you were saying, and stuff like that. How did you find peace in saying this is about me and therefore I'm going to cry?
I cry a lot. My friends know. I cry a lot. Even when I'm having fun, I just cry. Okay. For the sake that I'm happy. People say I cry a lot. When we got here, I just joked around. I don't want to leave here crying, but I just shed a tear. So yeah.
No, thank you so much for your time, Motheo. That is Motheo Palace. He's one of the attendees of this Men and Women's Conference Dialogue that focuses particularly on the boy child, and the presentation around how important it is that the society should help should help boy children to open up. They should not feel neglected, left out, and rejected by the society. And that is one of the presentations that was done by Mr. Mokaila, was saying that it will assist in terms of addressing issues of GBV incidents in the country, and therefore reduce cases of women that are being abused by men, or even men that are being abused by women but not being given the platform to speak up and seek help.
Important conversation there being held in the northwest, Refiloe, Seboko. Let's leave it there for now as we continue, of course, throughout the course of the day to hear more of what's coming out of that.